2 minutes so that I can and then you can off the camera. Sorry. Yes. Okay. 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 Now I shall start with the lesson. And let me know if the screen means the screen is visible to you. Okay. Just a minute. Huh? I'm just sharing the screen first of all. Okay. What can you say? English, you are Bharti? Okay, okay. You can mute yourself. Okay. Or you can mute yourself. Okay. Okay, students, we shall start with today's subject, that is English. Okay. And today's topic is, that is the poem, that is the Sower. Okay, before students, before starting with the poem, that is the Sower, I want to know that what do you understand by the word sower? Yes, yes. Sower means the person who sows seeds in his farm. That is the farmer. Correct. So this poem, The Sower, is written by the poet Victor Hugo. So he is the poet who has written the poem The Sower. Okay. Now you can see in this image. Okay. See, he is a person. He is a sower. He is also sowing. Can you see in his hand the seeds? So he is scattering the seeds everywhere so that he can get a good harvest in future. So this farmer is known as the sower here. Okay. So today we shall start with the poem The Sower, written by the poet Victor Hugo. Okay. Now, now we shall see about the poet. Okay, who has written the poet here? Written by Victor Hugo. Now, this poet is written by the poet Victor Hugo. So he is the person. Can you see the picture given here? Yes. Now, I shall read at the same time and explain you about the poet. Okay, Victor Hugo. He is a poet, novelist, and dramatist of the 19th century. Was the most important of the French Romantic writer. Though regarded in France as one of the country's greatest poets, he is better known for the novel as Notre Dame de Paris in the year 1831 and Les Miserables in 1862. So, students, he is the person who has wrote this poem, The Sower. That is, who is this person? This person is known as, this person name is Victor Hugo. Now, he is from French. Okay, he is from French and he wrote most of his novels, poets in French. So he was a French, he is popularly known for as if a French romantic writer. In which century? In 19th century. Okay, so this was about the poet, that is Victor Hugo. Now you might be wondering why there are two poets here. One is Victor Hugo and we can see one more, Turulata Dutt here. Okay, let's see what is that further. Now I shall start with Torulata Dutt. A Bengali poet, also known as Toru, wrote in English and French. Was born on 4th March 1856 in Kolkata. So, students, who is this Torulata Dutt? She is our Indian Bengali poet. Torulata Dutt is our Indian Bengali poet. Okay. Now, as I said, you might be wondering why we have two poets here. Yes, actually, students, this is written by the poet Victor Hugo, but he has wrote this poem in French language. He has wrote this poem in French language, where this the poetess Turlada Dutt. She is an Indian Bengali poet. She has written this poem she is wrote in English so that we can understand. Yes or no? So she has translated this poem in English. Okay. Now, and she was born when she was born on 4th of March 1856 in Kolkata. Okay. Next we shall read. She is considered to be the first Indian poetess to write verses in English and French. She translated dozens of poems and completed a novel before her death at the age of 21. Her poems such as Sita, Lotus, and Our Cashoveriana tree are well loved. Now, since, as I said, she is our Indian Bengali poet, she wrote this poem in English. Okay, means she has translated this poem in English. Now, she was the first Indian poetess. Okay, now who wrote this poem in English and French. Means she, she does, she not only knows English but also she knows French language. And the most of her the popular novels, sorry, the popular poems were Sita, Lotus, and Our Cashmere Tree. These are the well-known poems of her. These are the popular poems she wrote. Now, now we shall see about the main, the poem. What is the poem about? Okay, we got it that the poem is about the farmer. Yes, that is the sower. Let's see what is given here. The sower is a translation of Victor Hugo poem. Okay, now this is a translation means the sower is actually the title given by whom, Toru Lata Dutt in English, but actually this Victor Hugo, he has written in French. So what would be the name of that poem in French? So the name of this poem, Sower, in French is known as, okay, see I will underline this so that we can see, Sion de Semelis Liso. Okay, this is the name of the poem in French, and in English it is known as the Sower. Okay, what is in this name given in French? The name of this poem in French is Sion de Semelis Li Sor. Okay, so that's the name. Next, it is translated by Toru Dutt from French to English. The Sower is a poem about a farmer who is sowing seeds. He has seen many bad harvests in his life. However, he is so optimistic of having a good harvest every time he tosses grain. Now, since we have gone through the two poets, that is Victor Hugo, who has written this poem in French, and Toru Lata Dutt, who is our Bengali, Indian Bengali writer. So she has translated this poem from French to English. Correct? Now, now this poem is about a farmer. Okay, so sower means a person who sows seeds. That is the farmer. Farmer has faced many harvests, bad harvests actually. Bad means what? He has faced many problems in his life. Okay, while harvesting because of bad weather. See, फार्मर का एक ही प्रॉब्लम होता है जब फार्मर में कब लॉस होती है ओनली व्हेन देयर इज अ बैड कंडीशन अगर वो बैड कंडीशन नहीं वो गुड कंडीशन होता है तो वो क्या होता है क्लाइमेट अगर क्लाइमेट उसका साथ देता है तो उसकी रिजल्ट या आउटपुट होती है वो अच्छी आती है बट हियर and this, it has shown that farmer has faced bad harvest in his life because of bad weather condition, but he always remained positive and sow the seeds. यहाँ पे फार्मर ये नहीं बोलता है कि नहीं चलो इस बार हमने जो बीज बोए थे उसकी फसल अच्छी नहीं आई बिकॉज ऑफ बैड वेदर तो वो व्हाट यू कैन से ही डजंट गेट डिप्रेस ओके सो वो क्या करता है वो एक पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड रखता है ही कीप्स दैट पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड विथ हिम एंड ही सो द सीड्स अगेन होपिंग फॉर द बेस्ट इन फ्यूचर सो सिस्टर्स दिस लाइन मीन्स ये जो फार्मर से हमें एक सीखने को मिलता है कि अगर कुछ रिजल्ट अच्छे नहीं आ रहे तो हमें गिव अप नहीं करना है हमें ट्राई करते रहना है ओके दिस टीचर्स अस दैट वी शुड ऑलवेज have a, we should always actually carry a positive attitude with us so that what we can say we should continue this positive attitude to get a hoping for a better result in future so a farmer also does the same even such a bad condition is facing means bad weather condition is facing and with the bad harvest in future but he doesn't get upset he doesn't get depressed he always remains positive and sow the seeds for the future hoping for the best So I hope till here it is clear, students, about the poem and the poet. Okay. Now we shall actually start with the poem. What is given in the poem actually? Okay. Now what I will do, students, I will read each stanza for you, um, or at the same time I may read each line for you, and I will explain you. Okay. I'll start with the first is the sower. As the topic name is The Sower, that is the farmer, written by the poet Victor Hugo in French, and it is being translated by who? Turulata Dutt, our Indian Bengali. She has translated this poem in English. Okay, till here it is clear. Now, first line: sitting in a porchway cool, sunlight I see dying fast. Now, sitting in a porchway cool. Porchway, what do you mean by word porchway? Students, porchway means a courtyard. Okay, in simple words, it's a courtyard or a open area. यहाँ पे आपको दिख रहा है, देखो एक आंगन दिख रहे, घर के बाहर जो आंगन होती है वो हम उसे क्या बोलते हैं? Porchway. So dear students, porchway means a courtyard in simple words or open area. So sitting in a porchway, cool. अभी यहाँ पे जो पोएट बोलता है कि मैं बाहर बैठा हूँ आंगन में और वहां पे क्या है ठंडी का मतलब ठंडी जैसे ठंड हवा चल रही है ओके sunlight I see dying fast sunlight I see dying fast means what I'm seeing the sunlight setting okay I'm seeing the sunlight setting toilet hastened on to rule okay toilet hastens on to rule what do you mean by this line अभी क्या बोलता है मैं जब बाहर के आंगन में बैठा हूँ वहां पे ठंड हवा चल रही है मीन्स sitting in a courtyard as it's cool outside I'm seeing the sunlight setting it's a time of twilight means students twilight means here it's a time between आफ्टरनून एंड इवनिंग मतलब वो प्रॉपर आफ्टरनून भी नहीं है ना तो वो इवनिंग है उन वो जो समय इन दोनों के बीच का जो समय है दैट इज ट्यूबलाइट ट्यूबलाइट में एक्चुअली आप देखोगे ना स्काई का कलर बहुत सुंदर लगता है इट्स रेडिश एंड ऑरेंज कलर एक्चुअली इट्स रेडिश सो बहुत सुंदर लगता है वो सो द ट्यूबलाइट हेस्टन्स ऑन टू रूल वो क्या बताता है वो हम पे रूल करके कुछ बता रहा है मीन्स इट्स ट्राइंग टू से समथिंग सो इट्स अ टाइम ऑफ ट्यूबलाइट मीन्स इट्स अ टाइम बिटवीन evening okay it's a time between the afternoon and evening and it's ruling and it's saying that the working hours are completed मतलब ट्यूबलाइट वो एक टाइम है ना प्रॉपर इवनिंग में बोल रही हूँ ना तो प्रॉपर आफ्टरनून इट्स टाइम बिटवीन आफ्टरनून एंड इवनिंग okay next working hours have well nigh passed okay well nigh passed means what अभी क्या बोल रहे हैं now it's a time of tooling and it's by ruling it is saying that the working hours are completed it's time to close all work मतलब अभी शाम का वक्त हो रहा है और अभी क्या हो गया काम बंद करने का मतलब जो समय है वो अभी वक्त खत्म हो रहा है सनसेट भी मतलब जो सनसेट हो रही है उसका टाइम आ गया है नाउ वी हैव टू क्लोज ऑल द वर्क व्हाट हैव वी हैव डन एंड इट्स अ टाइम टू क्लोज ऑल आवर वर्क नेक्स्ट shadow runs across the land but a sower lingers still okay shadow runs across the land what is this okay shadow runs across the land but a sower lingers still now but a sower lingers still means what here students the poet is trying to say it's dark now okay naturally there will be shadow yes or no जब रात होती है तो आप देखो अपनी जो shadow बनती है वो shadow means what आपकी परछाई जो होती है उसको हम shadow बोलते हैं तो shadow runs across the land but a sower lingers still स्टूडेंट्स जैसे ही शाम होती है तो क्या होते हैं शैडोज परछाई बनने लगते हैं सो ऑब्वियस स्टूडेंट्स इट्स अ डार्क नाउ नेचुरली देयर विल बी अ शैडो द शैडोज आर रनिंग हियर एंड देयर अक्रॉस द लैंड अभी आपको बोल रहा है कि व्हाट डू मीन बाय शैडोज आर रनिंग अक्रॉस द लैंड मीन्स ये सिर्फ एक ही फार्मर के बारे में नहीं बता रहे जहाँ पे वहाँ के जो लोग हैं यहाँ के वहाँ पंछियां है जो भी जहाँ भी किसी का मूवमेंट हो रहा है वहाँ के जो उनकी जो परछाई है उनकी जो शैडो है दे आर मूविंग मीन्स दे आर running here and there across the land here okay understood students here shadow you know how shadow in simple words you can say for example if the lights goes and you up on करते हो candle लगाते हो तो you play with the shadows yes or no you make a different um, हाथ से कुछ अलग अलग शेप से बनाते हो like it can be a bird it can be animal so you make a different shape with your hand and that that image forms on the wall. Okay, that image is called as, that black image is called as shadow here. Okay, but the sower lingers still, मतलब क्या बोल रहे हैं यहाँ पे, but the sower still is sowing seeds. Linger still मतलब वो वहां पे खड़ा है, इतनी शाम हो रही है, सब यहाँ पे सब निकलने समय हो गया, सब जा रहे हैं, बट ये जो फार्मर है, ये दिख रहा है आपको, ही इज द फार्मर, द सोवर, बट द सोवर इज स्टिल सोविंग सीड्स इन हिज फील्ड. ही वाज ओल्ड नाउ. ये बता रहा है कि आपको इतना समय हो के भी वो ये नहीं सोच रहा है चलो अभी काम हो गया चलो हम निकलते, नहीं, ही इज स्टिल स्टैंडिंग एंड ही इज सोविंग सीड्स दैट. ओके, old in rags, he patient stands looking on. I feel a thrill. Black and high, he silhouette dominates the furrows deep. Now, students, here, what do you mean by that here? Here the poet is saying that what we can say, the sower, he was old. He is old. He is a poor farmer wearing a torn clothes. Okay, इसके जो कपड़े भी है देखो वो मतलब थोड़े फटे हुए हैं. And he's standing patiently means calmly looking at his fields. ओके, नाउ हियर पोएट क्या बोलता है कि वो बीज भी बो रहा है, ऊपर से वो शांति से मतलब खड़ा है, अपने खेत को देख रहा है. ओके, ओके, नेक्स्ट. लुकिंग ऑन आई फील अ थ्रिल. ब्लैक एंड हाई हिज सिलोएटे डोमिनेट्स द फरोज डीप. नाउ वो क्या बोल रहा है कि स्टूडेंट्स, silhouette means a black outline of any object which comes or appears against light. Okay, जैसे मैंने आपको एक एग्जांपल बोला था कि जब आप कैंडल लगाते हो, ऑफ द लाइट कंप्लीटली कैंडल लगाओ, तो वो जो परछाई आप अपने हाथ से बना दो, शेप बनाते हो हाथ से, तो वो जो परछाई गिरती है, ओके, दैट ब्लैक कलर शैडो टाइप, that black outline of any object which comes or appears against light is called as silhouette. Okay, understood? So now the farmer covers, the farmer is what he is covered, मतलब farmer की एक परछाई जा रही है, मतलब एक shadow बन गई है उसकी shape की. Okay, now yes students, I want to tell you what do you mean by furrows. Furrows means a deep channel. Wait, I will show you what do you mean by that. See, this is called as a deep channel. Deep channel which is used to sow seeds. Okay, एक चैनल बनाता है जहाँ पे हम लोग ना सीड्स बो करते ताकि वो प्रॉपर इन लाइन में वो प्लांट्स भी बने, मतलब आ जाए अच्छे से. तो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज अ deep channel which is used to sow seeds. That is called as furrows. Understood here? Okay. Till here it is clear. So what he is telling now, he's वो जो deep में है, what we can say, black and high he solos it. सोलो इट मीन्स मैंने आपको बोला था कि इट्स अ ब्लैक आउटलाइन इमेज, मतलब वो जो इमेज है ना, जैसे लाइट गिरती है वो इमेज की साइज फिक्स नहीं है, वो कम ज्यादा होती है. सी स्टूडेंट्स, व्हेन यू आर मूविंग, okay, at night or any time, and when the light reflection falls on your body, the shadow of the shape of the shadow is not fixed. Okay, as you're walking, the shape of the shadow is changing. It might be a short, it might be a long, so that is called as black and high is silhouette. Okay, dominates the furrows deep. Okay, now what he is telling, it's a time to harvest now, मतलब हमें अभी क्या करना है, ये चैनल्स बनाए इसमें हमें सीड बो करनी है, क्योंकि अभी ये क्या है, खेती का वक्त है. ओके, टिल हियर इट इज डन. चलो, विल मूव टू नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. नेक्स्ट वी हैव, now to sow the task is set, soon shall come a time to reap. Now what he is telling students here, it is a time to now it's so the task is set, मतलब उसने एक टास्क बना के रखा है. ओके, एंड soon shall come a time to reap, मतलब एक हार्वेस्ट का टाइम आ जाएगा, मतलब ये जो मैंने बीज बोए हैं उसके क्या हो जाएंगे, एक दिन एक अच्छा रिजल्ट आएगा. होपिंग फॉर दिस, the farmer is, the sower is sowing the seeds. Okay, march he along the plain to and forth and scatter wide. March he along the plain. Marches मतलब चलना. Okay, when you walk, na, this is called as marches he along the plain. Plain means what? Flat area. So walking on the flat area, to and forth and scattered wide. To and forth means आगे पीछे. Okay, when you move, what we can say, when you move front or back. Okay, and scattered wide मतलब वो जो उसके हाथ में जो seeds है वो फैला रहा है सब जगह. so that he's because he's sowing the seeds, right? So here after harvest, its grain is very precious thing for the farmer. Yes or no, students? See, जब वो हार्वेस्ट करता है और अच्छा फसल आता है, उसके जो ग्रेन्स आते हैं ना, वो बहुत प्रीशियस होते हैं स्टूडेंट्स। यहाँ पे याद रखना, what do you mean by word precious? Precious means as if you're gold. जैसे गोल्ड को एक इम्पोर्टेंस होती है, एक वैल्यू होती है, वैसे ही इस फूड ग्रेन जब हार्वेस्ट के बाद जब एक अच्छी फसल आती है, तो वो जो ग्रेन होता है वो एक क्या होती है, उसे एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट वैल्यू होती है, उसे एक सोने के समान एक फार्मर मानता है। अंडरस्टूड? सो now what is here it is, it marches he along the plain to and fro to scatter the white. मतलब वो क्या करता है, is moving further and back to put his seeds in his farm. Okay, क्योंकि हम एक ही जगह पे खड़े होके ऐसे ग्रेन्स को तो हम लोग ऐसे फेंक तो नहीं सकते ना, इस लाइन में भी डालते हैं, इधर उधर भी डाल रहे हैं, यस और नो? तो वी हैव टू मूव फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू अनदर टू सो द सीड्स हियर. ओके, फ्रॉम हिज हैंड्स द प्रीशियस ग्रेन, फ्रॉम हिज हैंड्स द प्रीशियस ग्रेन, प्रीशियस मतलब ये अगेन जो ग्रेन है ना, ये भी कभी हार्वेस्ट किया हुआ था, फिर से वो ही ग्रेन वो क्या करता है, आगे के फ्यूचर के हार्वेस्ट के लिए यूज कर रहा है, सो दैट ही कैन गेट अ गुड result. So precious means students here it is compared with the gold. The grains are as if a gold for the farmer. Okay. Muse I as I see him stride means muse I means muse students means deep thinking. What do you mean by the word muse? Deep thinking. So when the poet now he's telling that when I deep think, I feel he's taking a long steps to put his seeds in his farm. मतलब जब मैं देखता हूँ उसको मार्च करते समय चलते हुए समय, तो मुझे ऐसे लगता है कि वो बड़े बड़े कदम उठा रहा है, बड़े बड़े कदम रख रहा है. Okay, while sowing that seeds here. Okay. Darkness deepens, fades the light. Now his gestures to my eyes. Okay. Darkness deepens, fades the light. Now his gestures to my eyes. Now, here poet is telling now it's becoming too dark and the light is fading. Okay. मतलब यहाँ पे बहुत अंधेरा हो रहा है और लाइट भी क्या हो रही है, कम हो रही है. कभी ये कम किसकी लाइट, द सनलाइट इज वेरी, मतलब सनलाइट की जो लाइट है वो बहुत कम होते जा रही है. सो द लाइट इज फेडिंग हियर. Okay, so it's a time now it's becoming too dark and the light is fading. Now I can see the actions of farmers. Now ये जो मैंने बताया ना students, gesture means what, is the action of the farmer. Okay, gesture means of action of the farmer. Okay, now I can see the gesture means action, मतलब वो क्या कर रहा है, वो हरकतें क्या कर रहा है. Are august and strange, his height seems to touch the scary skies. Means now I see gestures to my eyes are august and strange, his height seems to touch the scary eyes. Now what is telling students, the poet is telling that now I can see the actions of farmer. Okay, I can see the action of farmer are very august. August means what, noble. Against means what, noble, kind. Okay, acha. And his height seems touching the stars in the sky. उसके जो height है ना, वो ऐसे लगता है जैसे कि अभी वो तारों को छुएगा. So यहाँ पे ये बताया गया कि students, the poet is very happy also, means at the same time he's getting emotional also. Okay, वो खुश भी है, उसी समय उसे एक emotional भी है. So this so whatever students in this poem the poet is feeling, so he has expressed his own words. Okay, he has described his own words in the form of poem here. Okay, so this was about the sower, what the poet was feeling about. Okay, so here at the end the poet was getting emotional and he was also thrilled. Thrill means he was happy. रोमांचक भी उसे अच्छा, उसे रोमांचक भी लगा और उसी समय वो थोड़ा इमोशनल भी हो गए. I hope till here it is clear, students. Okay, this image helps you to understand the poem easily. See here, the sower is scattering the seeds, and here this is a deep for what we can say, deep furrow deep. Okay, furrow deep means this is the channels where we bow the seeds. Till here it is clear. Now let's see what's next here. Next we have the meanings. Next we have the meanings. The first one meaning is porchway. Students, as I said, porchway means a veranda or a covered shelter in front of building. अभी आपको मैंने बताया भी था, ये जो है इसको हम लोग बोलते हैं प्रॉच वे, इन सिंपल वर्ड्स कोर्टयार्ड, या तो आप इसको ऐसे भी बोल सकते हो कि घर के बाहर जो आंगन होता है उसे भी हम प्रॉच वे बोल सकते हैं। ओके, वही है वो एक्चुअली इन फ्रंट ऑफ बिल्डिंग। नेक्स्ट इज व्हाट? वेल नाई। वेल नाई मीन्स ऑलमोस्ट बट नॉट कंप्लीटली और एग्जैक्टली जस्ट अबाउट, मतलब आपने ये वर्ड यहाँ पे देखा है वेल ना, इट्स नॉट कंप्लीट, मतलब वर्किंग आवर्स पूरे कंप्लीट नहीं हो गए, होने का समय आ गया है, फिर भी सोवर क्या है, अपना काम कर ही रहा है, वो हार्डवर्क कर ही रहा है। ओके, इज नॉट सेइंग दैट नाउ, अभी आपने कैसे इट्स 7 नाउ वी नीड टू पैक एंड ऑल एंड टू मूव, नो, वो ही इज अ सोवर लाइक नो, स्टिल वर्किंग हार्ड एंड स्टैंडिंग एंड looking at his farm. Next is sower. Sower means what? The person who plants the seeds. Okay. In simple words, farmer. Lingers. Lingers means what? Hang around or remains. मतलब मैंने क्या बोला? वो क्या करता है? वो patiently, he's calmly standing there and watching his farm. Silhouette. 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 Silhouette means what? Shape, outline of someone against a brighter background. आपको मैंने भी एक एग्जांपल दिया था, जो आप जो हैंड से शेप बनाते हो विथ योर हैंड्स, ओके, वो जो शेप वर्ड वॉल पे पड़ता है, मे बी इट कैन बी ऑफ बर्ड, इट कैन बी ऑफ एनिमल, तो दैट शेप, द आउटलाइन ऑफ समवन अगेंस्ट अ ब्राइटर बैकग्राउंड इज कॉल्ड एज सिलोएटे। नेक्स्ट इज फरोस, लाइन, ट्रेंच, चैनल, ओके, ये जो चीज होती है इसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? फरोस। म्यूज मीन्स रेस्ट इन थॉट और रिफ्लेक्ट, आपको इससे इससे सिंपल वर्ड्स मतलब डीप थिंकिंग, ओके, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज डीप थिंकिंग, म्यूज। नेक्स्ट वी हैव स्ट्राइड। स्ट्राइड मीन्स टू वॉक विथ लॉन्ग स्टेप, मतलब मैंने आपको बोला था कि पोएट को लग रहा है while thinking, while when he was thinking, the poet feels that the sower, that the farmer is taking a what step? Long steps. August. August means what? Kind. Okay, August means what? Kind, noble, ओके, डिग्निफाइड, इम्प्रेसिव। तो पोएट को ये बात भी इम्प्रेसिव लगी, उसे रोमांचक लगी, एट द सेम टाइम द पोएट आल्सो गेट गॉट इमोशनल। ओके, सो आई होप टिल हियर द मीनिंग्स आर क्लियर। Next, okay. The question given to you in your textbook, students. So the question is, what does the word marches suggest? जैसे हम लोग ने बोला, we have discussed. March means what? When you walk, that is called as marches. आपको पोएम में दिया गया है, that is 2 and 4, हाँ. He marches he along the plain to and forth and scattered by. So इसका आपको पूछा गया, what does the word marches suggest? Okay. So poet describe the peasant and someone who is in the command of land and fields around him. The verb marches in the line he along the plains indicates that he is in charge of the place and controls the activity that taking place there. He knows what has to be done. मतलब यहाँ पे जो वो फार्म है वो पूरा वो कौन देखता है? वो फार्मर देखता है, तो उसको पता है कि वहाँ पे क्या क्या एक्टिविटी होनी चाहिए, तो वो एक्चुअली इज लुकिंग आफ्टर दैट फील्ड, हिज फार्म। ओके, सो मार्च मीन्स व्हाट? इज मूविंग further, means वो आगे पीछे, is moving front and back, okay, for scattering the seeds. Next we have twilight hastens on to rule. Twilight hastens on to rule means, students, twilight, as said, it's a time between afternoon and evening. Okay, it looks very beautiful. The daylight is fading and the poet is watching the scene. Darkness is quickly blanketing the earth in its shadow. मतलब क्या हो रहा है? धीरे धीरे क्या हो रही है? शाम के समय हो रही है, और वो रूल करता है, वो ट्यूलाइट एक हमें एक रूल बताता है कि ये व्हाट इज द टाइम नाउ? इट्स टाइम टू go back. It's time to uh, uh, complete the work and move. Okay, clear? It is clear. Now next, okay. So students, we have completed the poem here. So I want to take a quick about the figure of speech. Okay, let me complete this first. And see students, we have completed already the figure of speech and wanted to discuss the figure of speech in this poem. Okay, so let's we will start with the stanza. First stanza here, sitting in a first stanza, first line, sitting in the Prochway cool. See students, we are discussing about figure of speech here. Okay, so which figure of speech we have? We'll start with that. The first line, sitting in a Prochway cool. Sitting in a Prochway cool. A sunlight I see dying fast. So, which figure of speech is here actually? Any line you can find out in this stanza, or sorry, in this two line? Yes, we have, that is sunlight I see dying fast. So in this we have sunlight I see dying fast. Some kind of figure of speech. Something is wrong. Yes, yes, it is. This sentence is not in proper order. This sentence is not in proper order. Sunlight I see dying fast. In this sentence, the figure of speech is inversion. This figure of speech is inversion. Inversion why? Because the words in this sentence is not in proper order. Okay. Jumble words are there. So what is the correct order? The correct order is I see sunlight dying fast. What is the correct order of the sentences? I see the sunlight dying fast. Okay. I see sunlight dying fast. This is the correct order. So the figure of speech of this line is inversion. Okay. Now one more we have a figure of speech in this line. You can guess what is that? Yes, that is alliteration. That is alliteration. Simple. Why alliteration? Yes, because the letter S is repeated, because the letter S is repeated for the poetic effect. Till here it is clear? Okay. Now, next we have, next figure of speech we have here, which line? One, two, three, four, five. Fifth line, see. Shadows run across the land. Now, which figure of speech we can see in this line? Yes, shadows run across the land. Shadows means what? Parchai, right? They run across the land. Now, see, students, have you seen shadows running here and there? Na? Because when the person moves, so the shadows also move. The same way, figure of speech is personification means here the shadows are given the human quality of running. Here the shadows are given the human quality of running here and there. They are running here and there across the land. So here the figure of speech is personification. Personification. Understood here? So why personification? Because the shadows are given human quality of running. Next we have, wait, okay. So next I don't think we have. Let move on to the next slide. Yes. Here we have soon shall come a time to reap. Soon shall come a time to reap means students here also you can say something is wrong in this line. Yes or no? Yes. Again this figure of speech. Again this figure of speech is inversion. Again this figure of speech is inversion. So what is the correct uh, what is the correct order of this sentence? Because the sentence is not in proper order. The proper order is soon the time shall come to reap. Soon the time shall come to reap. So this is the proper order. So here the figure of speech is inversion. Okay, till here it is clear. Next, now we shall move to the next line or the next sentence. We shall find out the figure of speech. Next, we have marches he along the plain. Marches he along the plain. Now here again same. The words are not in proper order. So here again the figure of speech is, see, marches he along the plain. Here the figure of speech is inversion. Inversion. Why it's not in proper order? What is the proper order? The proper order is he marches along the slide. He marches along the slide. So here the figure of speech is inversion. Okay, next ones we have, that is next line, two and fourth and scattered white. Two and fourth and scattered white means here figure of speech. Which figure of speech we have? Yes, which figure of speech? Yes, that is antithesis. That is antithesis. Why antithesis? Can you tell me why it is antithesis? Yes, we have two words. We have what words? Two opposite words are used. Two and fourth. Now we have opposite words are used. That is two and fourth. Antithesis because opposite words are used. Two and fourth. So the figure of speech here is antithesis. Understood here? Next we have muse I as I see him stride. Okay, muse I as I see him stride. So here the figure of speech is what? What is repeated? Yes, it is repetition. Yes, correct. So what is repeated here? I. The letter I is repeated. So here the figure of speech is repetition. Here the figure of speech is repetition because the letter I is repeated for the poetic effect. Okay, next we have darkness deepens, fades the light. Darkness deepens, fades the light. What shall be the figure of speech here? Yeah, the figure of speech is alliteration. What we have? Alliteration. Why alliteration? Simple. What is repeated? The letter D is repeated. The letter D is repeated for the poetic effect. Okay. Till here it is clear. I hope till here it is clear now. So students, we have completed. We have understood the lesson. Sorry, we have understood the poem, the author. Sorry, the poet, the poem, and the meanings, the questions given as on your textbook, and the figure of speech, that is the grammar part. Okay, so I hope till here it is clear. Okay, thank you. Just wait. Just wait. Okay, wait. I will stop the main screen. Okay, the screen stop now. Okay, thank you. I will show. Wait, just stop first.